Who we having for? Imagine that. They gotta lie. They gotta lie. They gotta lie all the time. They can't even believe their own lie. You can't even believe your own lie.
I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Tio his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy. Like he like doing things with his hands down, flashy.
Too much of it. You know, I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it.
At the press conference, Teofimo Lopez delivered a ruthless message to Shakur Stevenson, leaving no doubt about his intentions inside the ring. He made it clear that regardless of being labeled the underdog, he's ready to prove exactly what he brings to the fight. Lopez warned that anyone who overlooks him does so at their own risk, vowing a commanding performance that will showcase his skill, power, and unshakable determination.
Oh, they know that. They kept dressing that protection program
Money
for
talk,
a long
walk. Money talk.
Lopez displays fierce determination ahead of his showdown with Shakur Stevenson, remaining confident and locked in. He states that he plans to take control in the ring, prepared to prove his skill, power, and fight IQ. Lopez's mindset is unmistakable. He's all in, committed to victory, and determined to leave no question about what he's capable of.
Yeah. I'm gonna beat him up.
And we know at one point you contemplated retirement. Seems like you're in a good place now. You're active. Where are you at right now? Where are you feeling about your career?
Mentally, I'm in the Bahamas somewhere, having a coquita.
Teofimo Lopez makes it clear that he won't let Shakur Stevenson take a belt he fought relentlessly to earn. He highlights the sacrifices behind his success, saying the title represents years of struggle, pain, and dedication. For Teofimo, this fight is about defending what he built through hard work and perseverance. He has complete belief in himself and is fully determined to protect his place in the ring. To Lopez, this moment is deeply personal, driven by pride and effort, and he insists that no one can take away something earned.
Of being in the ring,
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson, obviously you guys are both in Las Vegas. I'm hearing that you did link up today. A face-off happened between the two of you?
Yeah, face-off happened, things of that nature, just to create the things that are in motion already. So we're really adamant about fighting each other next, and I can't wait for us to really lace it up. And I see him across the ring, and really when that bell rings, lights out for him.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face to face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think I don't think too much of it. You know, I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this. And I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next is for destiny in the boxing.
Ayoya analyzes the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez matchup, suggesting the fight is likely to go the full 12 rounds. He explains that the tone of the first 6 rounds will be crucial, noting that Shakur may start cautiously, fighting off the back foot while studying Lopez's rhythm and tactics. If Teofimo was able to control or clearly take the early rounds, it could force Shakur to adjust his strategy in the second half, making the fight far more competitive. Lopez is described as a fast starter who thrives on early momentum, speed, and explosiveness, and Ayoya raises the question of whether he can maintain that pace over the full distance. If Shakur feels he's given up ground early, he'll have to open up later, leading to a tense finish and closely contested championship rounds. On the other hand, if Lopez drops the opening rounds, Shakur could settle into control and coast to a clear unanimous decision. Overall, the breakdown frames the bout as a strategic chess match where timing, stamina, and round-by-round execution.
I don't think that Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Tio in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Tio can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won 4 of the first 6 rounds, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Tio, to me, is a front runner, right? I want to see if he can carry his energy and his explosiveness late in the fight and not wear down. And then when Shakur starts to open up, can you steal some of those championship rounds from him and make it like a close fight? I think if Tio comes out and does what he usually does, which is try to swarm Shakur early and keep Shakur on the defensive early, then he can try to steal a lot of those early rounds. And if he does that, then Shakur has to fight in the tail end of that fight. And that'll make it real interesting. If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Tio looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Tio is going to bring anything late in the game, you know what I mean, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, you know, he doesn't have the fight where he doesn't have his Diego Corrales fight. You know what I mean? Where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? Then the guys that you think give him some work, like De Los Santos, I know people hate when I bring that fight up, but I want to see him.
Shakur Stevenson explains that his motivation is fueled by a fierce competitive drive and a constant pursuit of the hardest challenges in boxing. After watching Teofimo Lopez's past performances, Stevenson was impressed with his confidence and flashy style, saying it reminded him of a young Roy Jones Jr., which sparked his desire to test himself against that level of talent. He sees this fight as a key moment to measure his skills against an elite opponent while adjusting to a different tactical approach. Looking back at his bout with William Apata, Stevenson admits it was awkward and demanding, but ultimately crucial for his development. That fight proved he could perform under pressure and handle adversity, teaching him that relentless, pressure-heavy fighters are meant to push him to grow. He believes he handled that challenge well, which strengthened his confidence. Now, against Lopez, Stevenson feels fully prepared to deal with the speed, power, and unpredictability that come with a top-level opponent. With his focus, adaptability, and accumulated experience, he's confident he can navigate the fight smartly, making it a true test of his skill set, mental toughness, and readiness to compete at the highest level.
About you that has you, looking at a fighter that you know is the truth and then saying, I want to fight him. It seems like it should be normal if you're a fighter, right? But that stuff is dying off in the game right now. And I feel like you one of the last of the dying breed that actually want real challenges.
Yeah, I'm competitive, bro. So it's like, I want to be the best. So when I see certain guys out there, and I seen Tio his last fight, I was there front row, and I'm like, damn, this dude is like, he like a baby Roy, like he like doing things with his hands down, flashy, and I thought it was cool. So it kind of made me want to get in a ring with him and see if he could do them things against my style.
Your last fight was against William Zepeda in July, and you fought a totally different way. It wasn't the easiest way or the best way to fight, but I think it was good for you and your development because it not only sent a message to the rest of the division, one up, your division at that time, and then the one above you, but it sent a message to the fans. But I think it also did something for you to prove to yourself that, man, listen, that wasn't like my best performance, but I showed you I can get it out the mud. What did that performance kind of do for you now that you look back at it?
Honestly, I think like styles wise, I think that Zepeda's style is the style that's supposed to give me the most trouble. Like guys that box and give me time to think is the guys that's gonna have a fit with me all night. But the guys who press me and put me against some ropes and throw a million punches, that's the style that's supposed to give me trouble. So I went out there and I prevailed against that style, and now I'm fighting against a boxer, which for me it just makes it more fun. I don't have to deal with a guy that's trying to like wear me down.
Chris Algieri weighs in on the significance of the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight, highlighting its importance for the sport of boxing. He stresses the value of top fighters facing each other, taking risks even at the possibility of a loss, pointing out that true elites remain elite despite setbacks. Algieri sees this matchup as a perfect example, representing a high-level technical clash rather than just a non-stop punch fest. He emphasizes the strategy and skill on display will keep fans fully engaged, showcasing quality over quantity. A win for Stevenson, he notes, would firmly cement his place among the top 5 to 7 pound-for-pound fighters, though many already believe he deserves that recognition. Algieri frames the fight as a throwback to legendary matchups between the best of a division, underlining the drama, skill, and historical weight such bouts carry. He compares the anticipation and tactical intrigue to classic encounters, proving that elite-level boxing remains as exciting and meaningful as ever.
The health of boxing on this side of the world. Listen, there's nothing like the Garden. We've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big a fight, and especially like I said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made. And putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teofimo Lopez kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teofimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say. Yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, going back and forth, saying like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to poke the bear in terms of how well Teofimo is going to show up.
Paulie, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him.
But I'll tell you what. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights.
Bruce Carrington breaks down Teofimo Lopez's upcoming fight with Shakur Stevenson, highlighting a critical vulnerability in Lopez's approach, handling dynamic movement. Despite his natural athleticism and knockout power, Lopez could struggle against an opponent who constantly shifts angles and maintains disciplined spacing. Carrington points out that Stevenson's composure and tactical awareness could exploit this weakness, forcing Lopez to overcommit or miss key opportunities. By controlling distance and pace, Stevenson can dictate the fight, making Lopez adapt to his style rather than imposing his own. While Lopez thrives in explosive bursts and aggressive exchanges, his reliance on raw power may backfire against a patient, mobile fighter. Stevenson's defensive intelligence and ability to reset after combinations could frustrate Lopez, sapping his energy and limiting his effectiveness over the course of the fight. Ultimately, Carrington suggests Lopez must adjust his movement strategy and temper his aggression if he hopes to overcome Stevenson's technical skill. The analysis frames the bout as a contest where timing, footwork, and ring awareness may prove decisive, showing that athleticism alone won't be enough to secure victory against a disciplined, intelligent opponent.